Science jerks. Science jerks. Science jerks. The rate of change in acceleration of science. Science jerks.
Welcome to the Science Jerks. This is Dave Chacho. I'm here with my co-host Robert Chan.
Hi.
And we're going to do some science, I guess, huh?
Yay! With a guest.
Yes.
Yes, I'm here as well.
And a guest, a disembodied voice on our podcast.
We're all disembodied voices. Why are you calling that?
I mean,
you say
like,
that his voice is more disembodied than the rest?
A non-introduced disembodied voice. Unless they read the liner notes, they have no idea who that disembodied voice.
Unless they downloaded this podcast and glanced at their
and read the
iPod
description
while hitting
Wait,
play.
I'm reading all these names. Who is this? What's going on?
Our guest, a comedy writer, member of some sketch comedy teams and groups and improv and I don't know what else.
A lot of things.
Jacob Harper, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me to the podcast. I'm looking forward to learning about science.
What kinds of things do you like to do?
No, I'm in a sketch group called Super Kudzu. Going to be in Chicago, January 11th and 12th, and we perform all around Chicago Sketch Fest. That's right. We are based here in Los Angeles, and I write for them. I perform sometimes.
How did you do in science in school?
Not well. The one thing that I remember doing really well in was physics. We had this deal we had to do one time where you would drop a marble down a chute and it would roll across a table and then it was supposed to go in a can. So we were supposed to measure everything with like the I can't remember the exact words, the drop and the the drag and everything, and you were supposed to guess where this marble was going to land, and we came within half an inch of it, and I remember being really, really happy about that. That's the best I did in science.
All right. Well, this will be your second happy science memory.
This will be the redemption.
1, rolling marble off table. 2, science jerks.
All right.
Sociology.
Mannequins are spying on us.
No.
Chacho here with Chan and our guest Jacob Harper. And
Does this have anything to do with the first Eccleston episode of Doctor Who?
This is pretty much the first Doctor Who episode of the reboot.
So it looks, I know the listeners can't see this, but that appears to be a very lifelike mannequin right there.
Yeah, and hot.
She is. She's a good-looking mannequin.
I don't know that I go that far.
A little paler than I tend to go for, but a very good-looking mannequin fitted with cameras in her eyes, basically, and a marketing software that can pick out the age, sex, and race of each customer who walks by, and then do lots of tallying of marketing math and figure out.
Are you Are you telling me that there is technology available now that can go into a friggin' Macy's that can tell who and what you are, and yet we're still standing in line and getting some vicious pat down from an uneducated oaf of a TSA agent just to get on a goddamn plane?
I mean, yeah, those things are a pretty big joke. I thought that was pretty well established. I accidentally took a knife through TSA last time
Did
I
you
went
seriously?
through. I did.
Nicely done.
I didn't even mean to. I forgot it was in the bag.
Sure.
TSA agents are on their way to our house as we speak.
TSA agents are basically meter maids.
Or you say that we should
sole
have
purposes
racist
to annoy.
mannequins replace the current TSA agents?
Well, wait a minute. Are these mannequins racist? You didn't mention that.
Well, they discriminate by race.
So yeah, that's what
I don't know if they actually like different races, but they can sure pick them out.
Because what they do is they see people and then they profile. Is that
they do profile?
That's a woman.
That's basically what it is.
In their 30s, and so she probably wants this product or that product.
There was a story that showed that there was a higher Asian population at this one Gap store. I don't know if it was the Gap, some department store.
Let's assume it was the Gap.
At a certain time, it was like 3:00 on Thursday. The Asian population went up, and it turns out that there was a tour bus from an Asian neighborhood or terminal or whatever it was. So they took this information and they decided to hire a couple of Asian dudes to stand in the front of the store instead of white guys, and they said the sales went up like 30% during that time.
Love
so they're basically
Well, where did they pull these
profiling by
Asian
race.
guys from? I mean, do they just have Asian guys in the stock room?
They just had they just had
Pull
a
'em
couple-
out.
Probably they were accountants.
Now
or
wait a
something.
minute.
That's what Asians do, right?
Yes, all Asians are accountants.
They do accounting and
I would
porn,
get mad
as far
at you,
as I know.
except that
porn?
fully 40% of my extended family are CPAs. So can't argue that point. Are you saying that these fancy mannequins are what told them to do that, rather than the person who's at
the manager
friggin'
of the store
cashier?
looking around?
Like, oh, a
Apparently-
lot of Asians. Maybe we should.
They're better. Apparently, they're better at profiling than human managers of the stores.
Yeah, I was going to say, it just sounds like they basically have made like a robot version of my grandpa to just like basically like sit out there.
Notice that there's more Asians at Thursdays at 3 p.m.? Shut up, Grandpa.
They lack their
I'm
own
telling
kind.
you, there's more. Put them by the doors.
Is that all they do?
Pretty much, but as facial recognition software gets better and better, I mean, you can expect.
What do mannequins have to do with this? I
to
get the
be
facial
able to-
recognition software. That makes sense. I like it, and we should use more of it. Fine. What do the mannequins have to do with it? Are they being surreptitious about it? Like, would
It's just creepier than we're used to. The
Well, that's what.
a
Is that just
security
for the
camera
headline?
in the corner watching us, but
Right.
you look at the mannequin and maybe
No. I'm sorry. A lifetime, a childhood watching Scooby-Doo, where the painting's eyes always follow you. That makes perfect sense to me. I am less creeped out by the mannequin's eyes following
So
me than I
you
am
just
with the camera
assume
recording.
that all paintings that you pass are
Yes.
watching you.
Yes.
Well, very soon it will be true.
Now, I was just thinking real quick. We were talking about it singling out Asian people. I mean, what do they do? A busload of white guys are coming in there. I mean, do they clear people out? Do they put
Yes,
other
because
white
a busload of white guys is from a prison. It was the
Yeah.
only time you're going to find a bus full of white dudes. Is they're coming for their? I don't know. What is it? Work release? Are they going to come by to stock?
Martha, did you ever notice there's more white guys coming in here on Thursdays at 3 p.m.?
With their orange
Shut up,
jumpsuits and their... Is that what the kids are wearing these days?
Put some convicts by the door. We'll get them in here.
I just wanted to know how I would be catered to. Is what I'm worried about.
Garbology.
Extreme recycling! Woo-hoo! This is a topic
There better
that,
be
I've
monster
covered.
trucks in this story. I just hurt my throat.
There's a dearth of monster trucks here in Southern California, so I hope so.
There's a lot of extreme that does not involve monster trucks in any way, shape, or form. Have you heard of a little thing called skateboards? Snowboard? Jumping off of things?
monster skateboard.
Jumping off of things is my personal
This is
favorite.
the extent of my extreme sports knowledge, really. This is the X Games to me, is skateboards, snowboards, and jumping off of things.
You best not come in here driving a Chevy skateboard. This is Ford skateboard country.
Extreme redneck sports seems like an entirely different topic that I'm not prepared to handle.
I wish rednecks would get into like skateboarding and snowboarding.
They do. They do. Metal Militia, MULISH. If memory serves, they're like a mildly racist organization.
Heavy metal snowboarders.
Yeah, racist heavy metal snowboarders.
Neo-Nazi snowboarders.
Now, I will say, because I grew up in southern Missouri, and so I grew up around a lot of rednecks and
Somo.
SOMO.
Is that a thing?
No,
I
not
just
really.
made it a thing in my head.
You just
I'm
made
gonna
it a
call it
thing
from now on.
But
That's what they call it in Manhattan.
I was gonna say there's a there's a fair amount of like redneck skateboarder types. You'd be really surprised. Yeah.
Is that just because they all have DOIs? So they don't have the option of driving a car?
Well, because though that's going to be a problem anyway, because you got to deal with gravel roads.
Goddamn government took away my car.
Off-road
Now I'm a
skateboard.
thrasher.
Extreme. Back to my thing.
We've
What are we
lost sight
talking
of
about
the-
again?
We're getting to the point where we're running out of resources. America was a great experiment, and our psychology is built for exploring this all this vast untapped resources. When we got to the East Coast, like there's nothing but land and cool shit to discover, and there's gold all the way over there, and there's trees all over here, and so like we're a country, capitalism is sort of built to make use of all those resources, but now there's no more. We've
done edit all up.
We've made it. Well, we've covered the entire country.
We know everything.
We have taken all of your resources, Mother Nature. Your move.
Now we gotta figure out how to slow down with the exorbitant use of resources and do a little bit of recycling.
Extremely.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a basic recycling, throwing cans in the recycle bin and then getting them. But then there's more extreme recycling, the sort of thing that you're going to find when we start heading off to Mars or wherever, where you can't just walk down to the store and buy food. You just have to use just the resources you have.
Should we be drinking our urine?
Not yet, but soon.
Unless you want to.
You just say the word,
because
and I'm
you
ready.
like the taste. Yeah. And this is not for human consumption.
All right.
They call them maggot cakes. Basically, what they're
Sounds
doing.
delicious. What's in them? Did you say cake?
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. They've got these black soldier fly larvae, maggot, and they're feeding them cow manure. They're feeding them chicken manure. They're feeding them waste, essentially.
And the maggots are fine with this.
Oh, yeah. That's what they eat to begin with. They eat it, and then basically the maggots get fat. Then you grind them up, and you turn them into animal feed. Animal feed has gone up a shit ton, like 80% over the past year or two alone in terms of cost. So this is starting to be a thing now that they might be able to use, because it's not really cost effective at this point. For a ton of waste material, you get about 100 kilograms of larva, which turns into about 12.5 to 35 kilograms of feed. So for 1,000 kilograms of manure, you're getting 30 pounds. God damn it. Fucking metrics! You're getting a teeny tiny bit of feed. But it has benefits because essentially you're cleaning the waste. The maggots also eat the E. coli and all the nasty stuff, so it kind of deodorizes the waste or that you're going to get rid of anyway, and you have something useful that you can make out of it. And
so basically, they're pulling all the protein and nutrients out of the waste, and what you have left is nitrogen or something that's good for fertilizer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it just becomes just
What do we do with
waste.
the maggots poop too, right?
Yeah,
We haven't broken that part of the chain yet.
Smaller maggots,
maggot poop to feed the other smaller maggots.
All this maggot poop going to waste. It's got to feed something.
But yeah, so you end up with maggots that are about 50% protein, 25% oil. That you can separate that and turn that into food additive. Use it for salmon food,
fuel. I think it said you could turn the oily part of maggots into fuel.
Yeah, conceivably.
The protein parts into food,
and the chitin, the outside, the crunchy bits. We're already using that for stuff.
We'll fry them up and sell them to rednecks.
Yeah.
Maggot chitlins.
No. See, I mean, I know rednecks where spaghetti is too extreme for them. So, maggots.
Call it.
No way, man.
Extreme pork rinds.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If
they don't know the difference.
Put extreme in front of it.
I don't know.
They'll love it.
I don't know why. I'm worried about the maggots taking over. I'm really there's something about this. It seems too good to be true.
Running for president and taking over the Senate.
Not necessarily that, but just using them. I don't know. They'll eat anything. They're going to eat us. I worry about this.
There are medical technologies that actually use maggots. They don't actually eat people, but they'll eat the dead flesh,
the necrotized flesh, right? Yeah. And so it's a way to what's the word for
good
that?
For zombies attacks.
Exactly.
Yeah, you'll put I've heard about this. Yeah, you'll put the maggots in the wound, and it's what's the word for that? Where debride. What they debride the wound. I learned that off the back of a hydrogen peroxide bottle.
That's 1 point for the science quiz. So you're saying that we'd be better off if we were just wading through a sea of maggots all the time, so then they would eat off
how much shit comes out of you
cells.
That you're concerned that you're going to be wading through hip deep.
That would
through
take
maggots.
care of all of the sewage in town. That would make our skin look beautiful and new.
Well,
so
only
we're
if you're
going to be
covered with necrotized sores.
We're going to be like these shiny mannequin-looking people who have just had every piece of dead flesh and everything just cleaned off of us.
Why haven't we done beauty treatments like that yet? Just put maggots all over your face and and they'll eat away all the.
warm maggot
I've started
bath.
doing the what do you call that? The scrubby,
the loofah scrub,
the
the seaweed mask,
The
the mud bath.
Now, I might be making this up, but I've heard... Yes, exfoliating. That's what I was about to get to.
I'm back.
Because there's that the spa treatment where you get your feet exfoliated by having the little fish.
Fish, yeah, there is a thing.
Is that in Koreatown?
I've seen videos of putting your feet into basically a fish bowl and they eat off the dead skin or something.
The mannequins would know about this. They are experts.
What determining fish?
No, just knowing what Asian
just
people are buying these
Asian
days.
culture.
Okay,
in general.
that makes sense.
Correspondent Max Zarou.
Okay, Chacho here with Chan and our guest Jacob Harper, and we have correspondent Max Zarou on the line. What's up, Max?
Hi, guys.
Hey, Max.
Don't wave, Max. We can't see you on the podcast.
Oh, sorry.
For the listeners at home, Max is waving furiously via FaceTime.
What do you got for us today, Max?
I'm calling in to talk to you guys about the Scoville Scale of spiciness.
Love it.
Chili peppers.
Sriracha.
Yeah.
Before we even go
Go ahead.
anywhere, is there a measure? Do you have a measurement for sriracha? For specifically,
I do not.
Oh, that's weak sauce.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Sriracha, no, I mean, it's tasty. It's just not that spicy.
Okay. Let's talk to you, Max, and then we're going to fight, Jacob and I.
Yeah, I don't want to
with
derail
fists
from this too much.
afterwards.
It is important to note right off the bat that this is not a way of quantifying the tastiness of something, just the spiciness, just the heat.
Okay.
I had some sriracha today. I love it.
Sriracha is not the spiciest spice in the world, but I found that when I quit smoking, it became way spicier. So your smokers out there are losing a little bit of the kick in sriracha.
It's a double-edged sword, though, because after I quit smoking, I noticed how horrible my dog's breath was.
Yeah, I can't eat quite as spicy food as I used to be able to do because I used to smoke pretty heavily. But I still love very spicy food.
It does make you tougher.
It does.
yeah,
It does.
absolutely.
It kills those taste buds dead.
You can't go up 4 stairs, but man, you can eat some hot shit.
Yeah, and it makes you look cool. In fact, I'm going to go and get some cigarettes. Yeah, I was just fascinated by the idea that somebody actually took the time to quantify how spicy something is. Now, the way it works is slightly unscientific, but scientific enough that even though the scale was developed in 1912, they were still using it up until about the 70s or 80s as the measure of spiciness.
Wait a minute. What are they using now?
There's some newer one that's more scientifically accurate, but it's not as generally accepted.
Max, can I ask a question real quick? So is that Scoville, is that related to capsaicin, or is that, am I jumping
Exactly.
ahead here? Okay.
No, you got it. That's what they use today is they can use, what's that hydrochromatography thing where you can determine the actual chemical content of substances. So that's what they use now. They just decide how much capsaicin is in it. What they used to do...
Capsaicin is the chemical that makes it feel hot.
Hot, yeah, exactly. The Scoville scale works is you dilute the pepper in sugar water at an increasing amount until a panel of 5 tasters can no longer taste the spiciness.
What?
The amount of,
That's
yeah, it's effective.
there's no science in that whatsoever.
Now, see,
There's a lot of zeros involved.
Because
that
my
seems like
taste
some like
buds-
Salem witch stuff. I don't know.
be it a habanero or no.
If he drowns in the pepper sauce, then it is too hot.
Prick it to see if it doth bleed.
So that's really how they used to do it. It was just like when one guy decided.
No, when 5
Or
guys.
5
decided.
guys.
And I'm
But-
sure
but-
it was dudes. This is not the sort of thing that you can entrust to women, right? Straight up
No.
chauvinistic bullshit. Male
Right, well, they're going to
patriarchy.
get emotional. They're going to be talking about how it makes them feel and what it reminds them of.
Okay, how many units is that? I feel like it was a 4, but
Paris.
So now that Scoville has been replaced by measuring the capsaicin, what is that referred to? Is there like a term for that measurement?
Yeah, but it's not sexy. It's an acronym that involves the chromatography word that I said earlier. Mm-hmm. You know, but that's still not really it, is it? You know, like even if you knew exactly the capsaicin content that doesn't really measure how it affects your taste buds, right? And even within a specific breed of pepper, there's wild variation. The habanero, and by the way, it is habanero. There's no tilde in there, Chan. Stop
There is
freaking
one
out.
I eat it.
Habanero. Do not give a fuck what you're saying right now. It's habanero to me, always will be.
Racist. No, but even the habanero is notorious for having such a wide variety, like depending on the soil and which strain and where it's grown and stuff like that. It can vary from tens to hundreds of thousands of Scoville units.
Not even
It
interested in
says-
habanero, though. I want to be talking crazy. I want to talk Scotch bonnet. I want to talk ghost peppers.
So I see this one thing I pulled up says 16 million is the top of the Scoville scale, which is
Now,
pure
what kind of
capsaicin.
asshole
Pure
is putting that in
capsaicin.
their mouth and giving a rating to it?
I mean, is that just what, like, pure capsaicin?
That's,
Uncut?
Yeah.
that's
The
literally
uncut
what it
shit.
says here.
Oh, pure
16 million is pure capsaicin.
Oh, man.
Does that mean that they diluted it 16 million times and they could still
Right.
taste it?
Yeah, at 16 million is where you stop being able to taste it.
Then where do the other peppers fall on this?
There's that great one from Trinidad that's called like the Scorpion Maruga or something that is a off the charts capsaicin level.
Where's the
It's more than 16 million? It is
No,
hotter
nothing
than
is
pure
more than
capsaicin?
pure no, nothing is more
It
than
burns your soul.
where do the merciless chili peppers of Quixosacatenango that Homer Simpson ate?
The Guatemalan insanity pepper.
Yes,
Those are stories told
at
by
least
Mad
a
Men.
billion.
Now, Max, you might be able to answer this question I've always had about spicy food. Why is it that some types of spicy, like wasabi, which might not, I guess that doesn't even have capsaicin in it, or how come that's a kind of spicy that just comes and goes real quick and others really hang around? Does that have more to do with like the oil in the food, or is there like a different...
Yeah, well, it's other compounds, and it's also the dilution. You know, the actual Scoville measurement.
But also, I mean, it's like there's a lot of ways to get burned besides just cigarette burns from your father.
Oh.
Like you could also be caught in a house fire. You know, you could also be trapped in one of those tanning beds and not able to get out. You know, all
Which one's
lead to the
wasabi?
same thing. Wasabi, I believe, is an Indian. burn from a
Wasabi's like when the
Japanese man.
dominatrix comes over and hits you with hot wire.
Yes.
But I mean, that's why we like capsaicin, right? Is because of the pleasure that
Yeah,
comes after
'cause you
the
like a
pain.
little pain
You
sometimes.
like just a little bit.
Not gonna pay.
Like when Mistress Donna just raises a little welt and
Just the littlest bit. Or maybe you like it really spicy. I don't know.
It's interesting to me that the active ingredient in pepper spray that the police use is actually capsaicin.
Yeah, and it works exactly the same, but there's nobody's getting off on being tear gassed or being pepper sprayed. I mean,
You.
Well, don't knock it till you've tried it.
I feel like a lot of the protests that went on in the 60s. Oh, no, wait. Were they using pepper spray back then? Never mind. I could be mistaken. I could have
those
just
were
made
called
that up.
fire hoses.
Oh, here we go. High pressure liquid chromatography. It works on
that
the
sounds
same principle.
sexy as fuck.
HPLCs? Hells yeah. It involves a solvent moving through a solid and carrying with it the components of a mixture which travel at different rates. In HPLC, the solid phase is a powder enclosed in a metal tube called a
Yeah,
column.
we all know
The
how
solvent-
high pressure liquid chromatography works.
Everybody knows
We're
that,
not
idiot.
children.
So what's the future of the Scoville scale? Is it out the door, or people still use it, right? I feel like I see it on labels.
I saw it in a Chipotle cup. That means it's still rocking.
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, you know, again, there's popular science and then there's the scientist science. The question that I think it begs is what else should have a quantitative measure like flakiness or creaminess?
Do we want to go ahead and name that now? Like the cha-chow? Like it's how
women's
creamy
intuition.
something is?
One chacho.
This is the creamiest thing ever. It's a billion chachos.
Hey, Mr. Scoville hopped on it. I'm just saying that, like, we could, you know,
I
go
wa-
ahead and claim flaky and creamy. Or
I want you to name the unit of measurement for the quality of an orgasm after me.
Chance.
That was
my
a
God.
400 Chan night.
They asked
this is
5
gonna-
guys. Keep diluting it until you can't feel it at all.
It's time for a quiz.
It's time for a quiz. We're here with Quizmaster Lizzie B. How you doing?
Greetings from an interdimensional universe. I'm here to ask you questions to see if your knowledge compares to that of us in the future world.
oh,
How far in the
boy.
future are you?
I'm in the year 2312.
So I'm glad they say in the future they say 2,000.
300.
Oh, 2,312. Ah.
Yeah.
They don't say 2312.
They don't say 2312. Like
2312 to us as dumb 2000ers.
Yeah, that must sound really out of date to
Listen,
you.
we take every number important as each other, so we need to respect it.
Oh, so numbers have
Okay.
gotten their
Individual
rights.
digits. Yeah.
that reminds me, when I was in 4th grade, my teacher would give me so much crap because I would always say like for 1,250, I would always say like 1,250, and it would like she was like really on me about this. And
You had a horrible education.
I was just like, nobody says 1,250.
Yeah.
You must take your time, boy, and pronounce every single digit in the number.
Cool.
All right,
Let's
what do you
do
got?
some quizzing.
Yeah.
Give us question
right.
number 1.
Question number 1, which should be an easy one. Which planet is the brightest object in the sky after the sun and the moon? All right, the answer is Venus.
Boom.
Female.
Everybody. Did it? Oh, what did you put?
Yes.
Mars.
I put Mars. I knew it was Venus or Mars. I didn't know which one.
1 for Jacob, 1 for Chen, 0 for Dave. Number 2.
Which of the following elements is not a noble gas? Helium, neon, argon, or boron?
You mean like opens doors for ladies?
Yes.
Who is a duke or duchess? We all know Sir Argon, right?
He was a dick.
Total douche. And what's the answer?
All right, the answer is boron. Boron.
Ooh. Dave got it. Jacob did not get it.
I'm not even going to say what I wrote because it's stupid.
2 to 1 to 1. Question
All
3.
right, next question is a personal favorite of mine. Standard model is a category of what type of physics?
The standard model?
The standard model.
I totally wrote what I think it is.
The answer is particle physics.
Ah.
It is one of the most up-and-coming.
Who just
Again, I am not going to say what I wrote because it was stupid.
Continuing on in one of my favorite elements of science, name 4 fundamental forces that make up everything that's around us. The answer is strong, electromagnetic, weak, and gravity. These are all major forces.
Boom, son.
I got 0 of those. I got 0 of those.
What did you write?
I wrote it. I don't even want to say. It's just bad. It's just bad.
Helium.
No, I wrote that was the noble gas that I got wrong. Man, I started out strong out of the gate.
Yeah.
It is not happening anymore.
This is the 5th
Now-
and final question of this segment.
It's where I turn it all around.
The final question is, true or false, a neutron has an electrical charge?
And
No charge!
boom.
I got that one. I told you. I
We
told
all
you.
got that
We all
one.
nailed it.
Yeah, but I especially got it.
All right, still a tight race. What do we got?
Yeah, it's 4 to 2. Jacob a little bit behind, but ready for the comeback. He'll be ready for it next episode.
Thanks, Liz, for doing the quiz. Where can our listeners reach you?
You can reach Lizzie E at 24starfleet on Twitter.com.
So, yeah, tune in a few days for the exciting conclusion of It's Time for a Quiz.
Planetology.
Something has happened on Mars. We don't know what yet. Chacho here with Chan and Jacob Harper.
Does it involve Richie Sambora and or John Bon Jovi?
Not as far as we know.
Would you like to explain that for our listeners?
It's just, hey, the article's pulled up and there's a banner ad for Bon Jovi, but it's over the picture.
It does really look like there's a Bon Jovi billboard on Mars. Another thing I was saying about growing up in southern Missouri, there are billboards. I grew up near Branson,
please.
Missouri.
Somo.
It's Somo. I grew up in Somo, and there was billboards everywhere because like when you're driving on the way to Branson, it's just like ads for like Wayne Newton's new theater and like all these country stars you thought had just like disappeared forever, like Mel Tillis. And
is Bon Jovi on one of them?
He probably does an appearance at the casino down there. I would not be surprised.
Apparently, he's doing an appearance on Mars.
Good for him.
This December.
I never hated him.
So what happened to it? I don't remember the last time this has happened, so I'm a little excited, but I don't want to get my hopes up too high. NASA said they found something with the Mars rover, but they're not telling us what it is yet.
Wait a minute. No, didn't they do this actually fairly recently, I thought? There was some, and then it turned out to be something,
On the 4th of July, well, I don't know if it was NASA. On or about the 4th of July, CERN said that they had found something, and it took them a couple weeks to then finally confirm that they think they found the Higgs boson. Is that what you're thinking of?
That's probably it.
So NASA's doing the same thing. They said a very large discovery on Mars, and we know that the rover's in Gale Crater, and they found like dry stream beds and things. So I'm thinking Marvin the Martian, clearly.
Yeah, I was like, that's so irritating. That whole like, I've got a secret. I can't tell anybody. And you just, like, what do we know? Dry riverbed?
Well,
there's no other hints.
Here's the thing. NASA is monstrously underfunded. So they're going to do anything they can to get press.
Just to build up the hype.
I'm fine with that. Because it's not like
we found a rock. Give us more money.
You guys, there's rocks here. Huge.
What did we find?
Rocks.
It could be the Higgs boson. Could be a rock. We're not saying.
We're not sure. Give us more money so we can investigate. Well, it better be good with all this buildup. But
yeah, it's probably going to be something simple like we found traces of water, maybe if we dig down far enough,
we know there's water there, and we know there's stream beds that don't have water in it, so there's a good chance they might have found an actual water source. There's another good chance they might have found, maybe microbiotic life, or even like a methane hint of microbiotic life.
They've never even found like a dead chunk of bacteria or anything on Mars. Like,
right.
I've heard about, like you said, they're almost positive there's been water on Mars at some point, but as far as now, nothing, right? Not even a shred of.
Well, I think that there's ice on the polar ice caps. There's carbon dioxide. What do you call frozen carbon dioxide? Dry ice, and there's also
so
water
there must be
ice.
dry ice machines somewhere to make.
It's a giant Bon Jovi concert.
Yes, it is. He's already got everything he needs there. Why doesn't he do some dates? Him and Wayne Newton could double bill.
Is Mars the next Branson, Missouri? That's what we want to know.
Pretty much.
NASA will be telling us the answer very soon. I think actually the announcement's scheduled for December 3rd, which also this podcast is scheduled to come out. Mm-hmm. So maybe the world is a different place where you're listening to this.
Maybe that will be the beginning. That's 18 days left until some asshole thinks the Mayans are going to blow up the Earth.
This could, yeah.
Maybe it is Marvin the Martian.
Is that
they found the guns pointed at
that's coming right up, right? Because I know
that's like December 21st or 12th or
I know an ex-girlfriend of mine is actually she's down there right now where the Mayans used to live, like near
South America?
South America. But sorry, I know that's not very specific. But she's in well, I guess it's more like Central America because she's in Belize.
I think the Mayans went from the Yucatan down to like Colombia, didn't they, or something?
Yeah, but I guess a lot of people are like heading down to there are people who believe that. She's not one of them. She just happens to be there. But there's
she there just to witness the end of the Mayan calendar?
No, it just it worked out that way, and she was saying that there was actually going to be people doing that.
I feel like it's going to be like the countdown to the year 2000. Where everybody's going to be really excited, and then it's going to happen, and everybody's going to go,
all right.
Well, You want to get something to eat, or
I feel like there's going to be a lot of drug cartels that are going to take advantage of this. Like, look at all these stupid rich white people here. Why don't we make their dreams come true?
welcome to
Honestly.
Colombia. The world is ending. Please give me your jewels.
But that's our show.
That's our show. Thank you very much to our guest, Jacob Harper.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Do you feel more knowledgeable?
I do. That was some really interesting stuff. I didn't expect to learn anything from you guys. But
You'll
this was,
learn even more next episode, which will be dropping in just a few days. You can check it out over at sciencejerks.com. Obviously, subscribe on iTunes. That's going to be the easiest way to do it. Because while you're there, you can review us on iTunes, which is something that we would love.
Give us a review.
Yeah, some stars.
Give us some stars. Give it a little
We know you
critique.
got it.
Even,
Sure,
you know?
absolutely.
We're getting too big for our britches?
We'll ignore.
Let us know.
Email us, Chan at sciencejerks.com.
Dave at
Chacho,
sciencejerks.com
Dave at Science-
or Chacho at sciencejerks.com. Got them both.
Nice.
Where do we find you, Jacob?
my Twitter is on the outs right now. I'm actually developing.
You and Twitter are not getting along?
I should have my website up. Hopefully, by the time this comes up, it's freejacobharper.com, and that is my website where you can find all things Jacob Harper. And I'm also in the group Super Kudzu. We're based out of the IO here in Los Angeles.
When's your next show at the IO West main
That would
stage?
be December 16th at 10 p.m. That's a Sunday. And we are sharing the hour with the sketch group Taste Test.
You can ask them questions about the Scoville.
I know.
See if they
I'm going to be.
can-
They're going to be trying to run lines and everything. I'm not going to let them. I'm going to tell them everything I know about capsaicin and Scoville.
I want to see some chili pepper sketches, some Mars rover sketches, mannequins.
These people thought they came to drink
Racist
and laugh at
mannequins?
stuff, but they're going to learn something.
That sketch
God
writes
damn it.
itself. The racist mannequins. In fact, dibs. You can follow me at Dave Chacho,
I'm at 999 RPMs.
or follow us both at The Science Jerks.
Goodbye.
I call foul on the LA City Council. The Silly Council, as I call it.